but it's also really important for me to work up on two things. Welcome everybody to the episode number 31 of Road to Success, the podcast hosted by Lord of Bars. Today it's just me, and I want to talk about the progression on calisthenics for the most advanced calisthenics athlete. And by most advanced, I mean all those athletes that have like the front lever or maybe the first straddle plunge, the first 3-4 seconds of it, and don't know how to keep up with the progression. Since I was also one of them, I would really recommend to set up a really clear goal and make it really big, you know. Don't focus just on saying, I just want 2 seconds of full plunge, I just want that, or blah blah. Focus really on getting something bigger, because at least you will get those 3-4 seconds of full plunge. Jokes apart, the progression is really important, and how to keep up with that, it's by having in mind a clear goal. So after you got your first straddle plunge, you should start working on your presses, you should start working on your negative, on your push-ups, and all of this stuff. And even if you don't have a coach, or even if you don't know how to keep up with that, you should watch everything around you. And since you have your phone and you're watching this video, you can also watch YouTube videos, and that's really important. Something else that I do is watching like the videos from Instagram for the top athletes, not by seeing the videos, but for really looking how they keep up with the form or how they train, because most of the time I see really top athletes that are still training with rubber bands, or top athletes that are still doing some beginner exercise. So that's really important to also build up like a plan or something like that. But it's also really important for me to work up on two things: the technique and the volume of it. Because I realize that with the technique you will not hurt yourself, you will not get injured, and that will help you to keep up with the progression. And with the volume you will be able to reach a new level of strength. So if you were able to reach just 2 seconds of straddle plunge, you will be able to keep that longer for like 10 seconds and so on. And also with the front lever, it's let's say the same thing, but you should focus on making maybe the pull-up, the wider variation, the touch, or all of this stuff. And to also being more motivated, I should also recommend to not train just plunge and front lever and all of this stuff, but also trying some new elements, as it can be the half toe, the back lever, or maybe also doing freestyle, just to, let's say, being still motivated and keep up with the training and not getting bored with it. Something else, it's making a plan. Making a plan will help you a lot, even if you do it by yourself, even if you do it randomly. Just make something that have a progression. So let's say if the first week you are doing 10 seconds of advanced tack plunge, the next week you have to do at least 12 or maybe even more. For me, the progression change every week, or at least I try that. And also, I don't recommend to try everyday new moves or see what's your level, like let's say your maximal, but try to do it every week maybe, or something like that. Also that for being motivated, like if you just train every day for doing the same stuff and you don't see any progression, that will not help you at all. The last thing, and the most important one, I think, it's the grind. You have to grind everything. You really have when you think you have just 5 seconds of old front lever or plunge or whatever you want, you have more than that. Even if your line will not be perfectly straight, even if your arm will not be perfectly locked out or anything else, maybe your butt is lower or higher, it doesn't really matter. You just have to keep holding it even more. Even if the form is not perfect, it doesn't matter, because you can't keep the form perfect 100% all the time. Otherwise you will not progress, I think. Even if you do every day 2 seconds of perfect straight line plunge, I will just end up to having like a perfect plunge, not even more than that. And really you have to grind more and more, so you also will realize new activation. I'm still learning how to push more in the handstand, I'm still learning how to push more in the plunge, I'm still learning how to change my form in front lever. So that's really important. You will never end up learning stuff. And I think this is those are the most important things. but you still have to get fun with this sport. You still have to experiment everything and choose what you actually want to train. That's everything for me for today. If you have any question or any doubt, you can write down below a comment, and see you in the next episode.